Alright, so to start this video off, as you probably already saw the title, I want to say I completely respect One Life players. I think the challenge you do is super cool. I think it's a good idea, but the rules are a little bit weird to me. So I just want to go through, I want to give my genuine concerns about them, and I want to explain why I myself would not like to run One Life because of these rules. And I will be honest, I don't have many good ideas of how to change the rule set, but as a long-term player, seeing the rules in the way that they are, I think there's at least room for a little bit of concern. Okay, so the solo rules, most of them make sense, right? If you die, the run is over, of course. Save quit to avoid death is not allowed, of course. I do have a weird question about being able to use doors to run away from conflicts, because that is essentially the same idea as save quitting. Now, I understand it's an in-game action. It is not like save quitting in that way, but that is a mild point of contention that I do have. I think that's a little bit odd that we do allow that. Golden chest not being allowed makes sense to me, but overlook, skip not being allowed does not make sense to me. Because if we look down here, we have a rule that you're allowed to go out of bounds. That's completely fine. So you can skip all of Bloodshot Stronghold, but you are not allowed to save quit 8 times to do overlook skip, which is really weird to me, because that means that Bloodshot Stronghold, its whole density, Mad Mike, all that stuff in there, you can skip that no problem. But you can't save quit past a couple robots and a constructor, which is really weird. I don't know exactly why that specific rule exists. Streaming the entire run and enabling past broadcast makes sense to me, so people can check if you're doing things fairly and correctly. No save quit while enemies are attacking you. Once again, the travel being free is kind of weird, but I get it. It makes sense that you would want that just in case. And then no cheesing a boss fight. Now, I had some questions about this, and the response I've gotten felt kind of negative. Because, if you don't know, in Borderlands 2, a lot of enemy pathing is based off where the player is on the ground. So, if you spam your jump button, a lot of enemies just stop moving, or will run away in a straight line, or in whatever line they were already pathing on. So you can use this to cheese any melee boss that is like on the ground. You can use this to lock Bloodwing, the handsome dragon, Smokey. You can use this to stop buzzards and dragons, like the normal dragons. Pretty much anything that just follows the player. You can do it to any of those. But that's allowed, even though that's a type of cheese. And the response I get, which feels very dismissive, is simply, what do we do, not let the player jump? And that's a fair statement, but at the same time, we all know the difference between spamming jump to break a mob and jumping in combat because you feel the need to jump. I think that's pretty fair to say, because to break a mob, you have to jump as soon as you touch the ground, and then you have to do it repeatedly until that enemy is gone or dead. That's, yeah, like that feels obvious to me, so I feel like that should be changed. Read-only or dashboard farming is okay, but you can keep only one mission reward or chest room per mission, e.g. you can keep one snowman train, no stash exploit. That's fair. I get that. That totally makes sense to me. Being able to farm specific mission items is cool. I respect that. That makes sense. So that one's totally fine to me. No glitches, EXP exploits, mods or edit/cheat software, e.g. double-shotting, damage merging, such as Pimp Ahab, or menu crit swapping/drunk stacking are not allowed. So there's 2 things in here that I want to point out to you. So, double shot in its existence is unfair. I will 100% say that entirely right now. But I think using a portion of double shot for a reload cancel for controller players should be fair. I will go ahead and open up Borderlands 2 right now. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about with this. Okay, So on keyboard and mouse, if you are a player who uses this, you can, shoot through a gun, get through its magazine, and then at any point, just do that, it's instantly reloaded. This is considered allowed. But, however, if you shoot a gun on controller, and then whenever it's reloading, swap like that to make it fire early, that's not allowed. That's a portion of double shot, and you are not allowed to do that. That feels weird. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but controller players being able to get that one shot off early compared to keyboard and mouse gamers literally being able to just instant reload weapons feels really weird to me. Now, over here, menu swapping or stacking and stuff, this makes sense. I understand that from a viewership point of view, it is very boring to watch somebody just mash their inventory button a lot. But being able to swap stack is fine, which I don't entirely get, because you're still transferring the effect from one item to another, which is like what crit swapping is, except for it's with the effect of a gun onto another gun. Like, if the Evil Smasher still did the Evil Smasher bug, we probably wouldn't allow people to merge that into other guns in one life. But the Orc stacking and the Grog stacking we allow, which is weird. So I think overall they should be a little more well-rounded about that, and that would feel more fair to me. But once again, I don't play One Life. I just have a lot of hours in Borderlands 2, and I think that this rule set just feels weird. So that's just entirely me. This is entirely my own viewpoint on why I think One Life is weird. I don't really have any further questions about the category. I just think that some of the cheese that you're allowed to do contradicts some of the other cheese you're not allowed to do. And that's simply it. I just want there to be a more consistent feel with it, so that everyone's on the same boat, and keyboard and controller players both have the same thing going on. So yeah, that's it.